19 unbelievable animals that saved lives. Number 19. Monty the Dog. Ian Thomas was knocked unconscious for nearly 20 minutes after being struck by lightning in October of 2011 and was unable to walk when he regained consciousness. He wrapped his arms around his faithful pooch Monty, and Monty was able to drag him 100 yards back to his home. Thomas's wife then rushed the man to the hospital and he survived. Number 18. Winnie the Cat, who saved her owner from carbon monoxide. Most rescue stories involve dogs saving their owners, but cats can be just as heroic. Winnie the Cat was asleep when her owner's house began filling up with carbon monoxide. Winnie started meowing loudly and scratching objects to get her owner to wake up. The cat's distressed actions saved her owner's life, because if they had waited any longer to evacuate the home, they might have died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Number 17. A trio of lions who saved a young girl. It sounds like a Disney movie, but in 2005, a pack of lions rescued a 12-year-old girl when she was kidnapped from her Kenya village. The girl had been held for a week by her captors, and when the police found her, she was being guarded by 3 lions. The captors had fled, leaving the girl behind, and the lions apparently thought her cries were those of a cub, so they protected her. Number 16. Titan, who responded to his owner's head injury. John Benton was trying to leave for work in October 2011, but the door of his Atlanta home was blocked by the family's pit bull, Titan. The dog was barking repeatedly and refused to move from the door. Benton quickly realized that the dog was alerting him to something and followed the dog upstairs to find his wife Gloria had suffered a brain aneurysm and had fallen, fracturing her skull. She survived with medical help thanks to Titan. Number 15. Mickey, who saved a young mom and her baby. Debbie Denning was asleep in her Idaho home in September 2011 when her American Eskimo dog Mickey awoke her frantically. The dog was reacting to cries for help by Denning's 15-year-old daughter who was pregnant. The teen was having a seizure and quickly lost consciousness, but Mickey came to her aid. Once alerted to the situation, Denning was able to rush her daughter to the hospital where the baby was delivered 2 months premature, but thanks to her pooch, she survived. Number 14. Mila, a beluga who saved a diver from drowning. Diver Yang Yoon was participating in a diving competition in a pool filled with Arctic cold water and beluga whales. The competition was free diving, meaning she was diving without breathing equipment, and things were going well until she suffered cramps while underwater. The cramps rendered her unable to move her legs, and she wasn't able to return to the surface. Help came in the way of Mila, a beluga whale, who grabbed her legs and pushed her to the surface. Number 13. Carrie, the mare who saved her owner from a charging cow. Scotland farmer Fiona Boyd was working her usual chores on her farm and didn't expect to be attacked by an enraged mama cow. But luckily, a smart-thinking horse was able to save her. The heifer charged her 1,000-pound body into Boyd, slamming her to the ground, and then rolled on top of her. As Boyd cried out, her mare, Carrie, responded, kicking the cow repeatedly and allowing Fiona the chance to crawl 20 feet away to safety. Number 12. Zoey, the Chihuahua who fought a rattlesnake. Chihuahuas might be little dogs, but that didn't stop Zoey the Chihuahua from performing a big deed. Zoey's owners were visiting with their grandchild, Booker West, outside one day in Colorado. The 1-year-old was approached by a rattlesnake. However, when Zoey spotted the snake, she jumped between the two to save the child. She was bitten, but thankfully she eventually made a full recovery. Number 11. Shana, the dog who led her owners to safety. The Fertigs, Eve and Norman, both 81 years old, ran an animal sanctuary in Alden, New York, and were tending to their animals when a storm arrived out of nowhere in 2006 and knocked out their power. Upon going outside to check on their animals, they quickly found themselves in freezing weather as heavy snow fell and trees fell all around them, blocking their path back to their home. The couple had a guardian angel in disguise, Shana, a dog they had rescued when she was just a puppy. Now 160 pounds, Shana started digging a path in the snow and tunneled underneath the trees. The tunnel was about 1 foot wide and 20 foot long and led back to the family home. Shana then pulled the two of them back to safety. Once at the home, Shana huddled with the couple, using her body to keep them warm in the frigid temperatures of the powerless house until the local fire department arrived. The Humane Society awarded her the Humane Animal Treatment's Heroes Award for bravery. Number 10. The Stray Who Saved a Newborn. An abandoned newborn had a heroic rescue in 2005 in Nairobi, Kenya, when a stray dog discovered the infant in a forest. The baby had been left in a plastic bag and was alone in the forest. A stray dog discovered her and, acting on maternal instinct, carried the baby across a busy road and through barbed wire, keeping the baby safe the whole way. She then deposited the baby with her own litter of puppies in a shed until the owner of the shed found the baby and took her to the hospital. Despite her ordeal, the baby survived. Number 9. Bandit, the dog who rescued a family. The DiStefani family were pet-sitting a dog, Bandit, for friends who had gone out of town. Rich DiStefani was using a hot water sterilizer to sterilize a hairbrush one night and forgot to turn the sterilizer off. The water evaporated, causing the hairbrush to burn and emit toxic smoke throughout the home. When the smoke detectors didn't go off, Bandit jumped on the mother's chest, barking frantically to wake her up. She hurriedly woke up the rest of the family and got them safely out of the house. Number 8. Willie, the life-saving parrot. Plenty of parrots can talk, but Willie the Quaker parrot used his voice to save a young child's life. Toddler Hannah Kusk was eating one day when she began choking on her food and turned blue. Willie noticed the child was in need of help and began calling for the babysitter, Megan Howard, by squawking and flapping his wings. Willie cried, "Mama, baby," repeatedly until Megan was alerted and performed the Heimlich maneuver. Willie later received a Red Cross Animal Lifesaver Award. Number 7. Dory, the rabbit who saved a diabetic. Simon Stegall, a diabetic, was watching television in his UK home one day in 2004. As he fell asleep, his pet rabbit, Dory, noticed something was amiss and jumped on his chest, thumping it rapidly. Simon's wife, Victoria, observed the animal's behavior and knew this was no ordinary nap. Simon had slipped into a diabetic coma, unable to speak or move. Victoria contacted paramedics who were able to bring him back to a normal state. Number 6. Ning Nong, the elephant who saved a young girl during the 2004 tsunami. Young Amber Mason has an elephant named Ning Nong to credit with saving her life during the 2004 Thai tsunami, the deadliest in history. As the waves struck, Amber was riding the 4-year-old elephant on the sands of Phuket, and upon seeing the dangerous sea before them, Ning Nong ran to safety on the shore, holding his body firm against the waves as they crashed. The elephant took the full brunt of the waves instead of letting them sweep the 8-year-old away. Number 5. The Dolphins who saved a swimmer from a shark. Great white sharks have terrorized people on screen in movies like Jaws, and long-distance swimmer Adam Walker may have escaped his own Jaws experience thanks to a pod of dolphins. Out for a swim on April 26, 2014, Adam was being followed by a great white shark, but the dolphins quickly swam around him, staying close to his body to ward off the shark. He was able to swim away and later share photos of the encounter on Facebook. Number 4. Lima, the cat who took on 2 pit bulls. Dogs may be man's best friend, but for Cherry Woods, she credits her cat, Lima, with saving her life. Cherry was attacked by 2 pit bulls and was unable to fight them off, as was her husband. The two were battling with the dogs when help came in a furry package named Lima. Lima flew into the mix, biting, clawing, and hissing at the dogs, distracting them away from her owners. The couple was able to get safely into the house, and Lima escaped shortly after. Number 3. The Wild Beavers who saved a boy after his parents' death. Beavers are known as industrious animals, but they also saved 12-year-old Roselle Guindon's life. The tween and his parents were in Ontario spending a day on a remote lake, and Roselle had stayed behind on the shore while his parents went fishing. To his horror, he watched as his parents' boat tipped over in the water. His parents eventually drowned while their son watched helplessly. The nearest town was miles away, and the sun was setting. So he collapsed on the cold ground, delirious from witnessing his parents' deaths. Crying, he felt snuggled by a warm, furry animal and quickly fell asleep. He awoke the next morning with 3 wild beavers huddled around him, keeping him from freezing as the temperatures dropped below zero. Number 2. Salty, the guide who led her owner to safety on 9/11. Guide dogs are expected to keep their owners out of danger, but Salty, a New York guide dog, took protection to a whole new level. Salty and her owner, Omar Rivera, were on the 71st floor in Tower 1 of the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. As the building began collapsing around them, Salty led Omar and a friend down 70 flights of stairs to safety, just moments before Tower 1 completely collapsed. Salty was there the whole way and even refused to let the friend take her leash because she wanted to stay with her owner until he was safe. Their ordeal took 1 hour and 15 minutes to accomplish. Salty and Omar received the Partners in Courage Award, and Salty was also given the Dickin Medal, an honor given to animals who display gallantry during conflict. And number 1, Roselle, the 9/11 savior dog. Another guide dog, Roselle, also helped her owner, Michael Hingson, on 9/11. Roselle was with Michael on the 78th floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. It was just a normal day at work until terrorists hijacked a plane and crashed it into the south side of the building. The yellow lab jumped into action, steering her owner down over 1,460 steps through billowing smoke amid rising temperatures until they arrived in a subway station and were safely underground. Michael credits the yellow Labrador's calm demeanor with making sure he focused on getting out safely and not panicking. She too received the Dickin Medal,